Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation of this message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I have come here on your platform because I am asking for your listeners to help me. If there are people who even listen to this channel that are from Zim, please help me out in the comment section. Where exactly in Zim can we go to? Because my husband, he really messed up. This was before he had passed away. So here in South Africa, we are being told that the charms that he used, they are too powerful for some of the sangomas that have been assisting us. All that we need to do is we need to go to Zim. If we can get any powerful traditional healer from that country, then we will be able to correct the wrongs that my husband did. So, Brother Nashi, I am a 32-year-old South African woman. I was married to my husband, Tabo, not his real name. He was a truck driver for 10 years. He had been married before. Then he had a big fight with the wife. So from that time when he had a big fight with the wife, when he started dating me, the wife, when she found out that I was now dating her ex-husband, she was someone who loved prophets, but not from Zim, these prophets from our own country. So she would go there and she would weaken my boyfriend's manhood so much that it was really hard for me. You would go to bed with your man and then his manhood would not even work. So from that time, I can say that was when Tabo, even though he was a Christian man, he started going to some traditional healers because he just wanted something to help him out so that his manhood can be okay and satisfy me. He was like always complaining, because of your age, maybe you're going to cheat on me because I can't satisfy you. We would even do half a round and then his manhood will just sleep. But anyway, I just loved him like that. I always knew his job was tough, long hours on the road, dangerous routes, and being away from home for weeks at a time. But I never imagined that it was going to end up like this, that I would lose my husband in the most horrifying way. I never even cared like he did about sex because God had given us at least 2 kids. But it all started 2 years ago after I had given birth. That was when my husband told me that he had chosen to go into the cross-border routes because that was where the money was. So he was now taking the routes that crossed the border into Zim. He was delivering loads to places like Blawayo, Victoria Falls, and even Hwange. At first, it seems like a good thing. The money was coming in. The company he worked for paid more for the long distance routes, and we were able to afford a few extra things that we could not before. But slowly my husband started changing. He used to be such a calm, easygoing man, but after a few trips to Zim, he became more distant. He would come home from the road. He would not even talk to me. He would lock himself in the bedroom sometimes for hours. That was when he started complaining about seeing strange things. He just said all of a sudden, that thing, did you see it? It was on the wall. I said, what thing? And he said that, you won't even understand. He said that his body was feeling weak and he was always tired. But the most concerning part was that he could not stop talking about pleasing me sexually. It was now like an obsession to him. One night after a trip from Zim, he had gone to Hwange. He came back with something unusual. I still remember that night. He walked in, he was sweating, he was carrying a small clay pot. It was wrapped in animal skin. He said that it was goat skin. I asked him what was it all about, but he brushed me off, saying that it was just something to help him on the road and to help him when he'll be making love to me. So he said that this thing was supposed to stay put in our bedroom. So he placed that pot in our bedroom, hidden underneath the bed. I knew better than to ask too many questions at that point. He had been someone who was keeping secrets for months and months, and it felt like he was slipping away from me. As time went on, that was when he started acting even stranger. He stopped sleeping properly, and when he did sleep, he would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, sweating and shaking violently. One night I overheard him mumbling in his sleep something about failing and needing to confess. I did not understand what he was talking about, but the fear in his voice sent chills down my spine up to this day. The turning point came when I finally confronted him about the clay pot. I had noticed that every time he went near that clay pot, his mood will all be changed. He will get agitated, almost like paranoid. One evening, that was when I said, you know what, man, I can't take it anymore. Just tell me what the hell is wrong with you? What is going on with you? I demanded that you tell me what was going on, or else I was going to return back to my parents' house. That was when he broke down. My husband broke down and he confessed. He told me that during one of his trips to Wange in Zim, he had met a Sangoma, a traditional healer or a witch doctor, who promised to give him charms to help with his manhood, since his manhood was not working. So he said that this man said that he had a way to give him even more libido, to increase his libido. He said that the other truck drivers, they were using these charms also to stay sharp on the road and also with women. At first, it was just herbs, he said, powders, and he used to wear this other thing around his waist. He said that it was going to give him power, but the more that he used these things, the more that he felt like he was losing control. Then the witch doctor gave him something which he said was more powerful, that clay pot with the god skin that he had brought home. Inside the pot, he said, open it up. So I crawled and I went on my knees and I looked underneath the bed and I dragged that thing. And then he said, look into it. That was when he gave me some powder which was inside a small plastic. He said that this powder was supposed to be in his pocket at all the times. He gave me that powder and I rubbed it on my eyes and I felt as if my eyes had been opened up. I saw that there was a strange creature, an animal like a worm, but this animal that looked like a worm, it had fur as if it was a wild animal. Tabo told me that it was some kind of muti that was going to bring him wealth. The Sangoma promised him that if he kept feeding the creature with blood from chickens and small animals, it was going to make him to be rich. At first, he said that he had tried it out of desperation because he wanted to give us a better life, to be able to add more than just basics. But soon things had gone horribly wrong. The more that he fed the creature, the sicker he became. His legs started swelling up, he said. Sometimes he will be unable to drive properly, and his skin, it then turned gray and rough, as if there was something that was eating him from the inside. He told me that the Sangoma warned him that he needed to complete the rituals in time. He had been given a month to do a sacrifice. So the final sacrifice, I asked him, what was the final sacrifice? He said that it was either you or the kids. I was shocked when he said either you or the kids. And I said, so do you mean that I am going to die? He then said, no, the charms have since expired. So that is why you see that my legs are swollen like this. This animal is eating me from the inside. I could not even believe that the man that I had loved had gotten into something that is dark. I begged him to throw away these rituals, and he said that he would try to return back this charm back to Zim, and he kept on saying that you cannot just throw it because it is cursed. So then we went to bed. Then they came this other night, the night that I would never explode. As for his phone, we had gone to the hospital. On our way from the hospital, my husband forgot the phone that had the phone numbers of that traditional healer from Zim, and that phone, we never relocated it again. Then on that night when his leg exploded, he had been complaining of severe pain. We went to the hospital, we returned back. He kept on saying that the pills are not working, saying it felt like there was something that was moving inside of him. His legs had swelled to twice its size, and the skin was tight and shiny, and I could not take him back to the hospital that same evening because we had no money. My mom was saying that early in the morning she was going to bring me some money. Brother Nashi, whilst we were in the living room, my husband, he was in the bedroom. That was when I just had sort of like a pop, and then my husband started screaming. I rushed to the bedroom. That was when I saw that my husband, his leg had literally burst open and worms hundreds of small white worms were crawling out of that womb. I screamed out for help, Brother Nashi, but it was too late. By the time that the ambulance came, my husband, he was really sick. We rushed him to the hospital, but my husband died the next day. The doctors could not even know what kind of an infection it was, but I knew that this was because of what he had told me. After Tawo's death, I searched the house for that clay pot. The problem is that sometimes I see it. When I see this clay pot, I might be sitting in the living room. Then I can just see it. Then it will just disappear. So now I am here. I am looking if there are any prophets that might be from Zim who are currently in South Africa. Please, Brother Nashi, if there is anyone, they can tell me. It's either in the comment section where I can go to. I do not want people that will end up trying to scam me, because I do not even have any money at all. Please assist me. Currently, I am based here in Johannesburg. I want people that are from that land to assist me. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.